All right, good evening, friends, and I'm back after a long break. So everybody knows who are our guests for the day. Rachna Niranjan, yes, ace photographers. Uh, they are like a couple, and not from an photography background and IT background people left their jobs for their passion, and let's hear more from them.
Hey Kalyani.
Hi Rachna, hi Niranjan.
Hi, Kalani, how are
Hi.
you?
Can you hear us?
Yes, good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Good
good
to
to
see
see
you.
you too. How
How are
have you
you?
been?
Very good, very good. How have you been?
Getting a little bored at home.
Small weddings, we are not used to the small wedding culture, Indian wedding
Yeah,
culture.
weddings are not meant for
Um,
lockdown and social distancing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So only few weddings are going on. Even
yeah,
how at your end you are doing any weddings right now?
not really. We had one wedding in June. Then it's
Okay.
been pretty less overall. I think
Yeah.
very
I
less.
think
But
everybody is waiting for the big weddings to
Yeah,
uh,
happen. People are postponing. So
yeah.
yeah,
let's start with today's session. I welcome you both.
thank you.
So
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
yes,
thanks.
thank you for being there. So let me know about your journey. Can Niranjan tell about that or Rachna who would like to go ahead?
Yeah, she can start
I'll
now.
start and
Yeah.
he'll take
Yeah.
over.
Okay, all right.
So, as you've already introduced, that we both are from the software background. We both met at our company Infosys in 2007, and
Okay.
we both worked. We both were friends for quite some time, and then once we became a couple, at the same time we got our US visas as well to work in the US. So that is when all the problems and our distant relationships started. So either he used to go to US or I used to go to US. So it continued. Our 4 years of courtship was always in a distant relationship, and
Okay.
uh, and then we got married in 2012, and even for 2 years the same distance continued, and it was taking a toll on. I mean, we didn't have any peace of mind, and then I started feeling that what's the point of earning all this money when you're not happy as well, right? So that's when I thought I'll quit my job, and I moved to his place in Seattle. And instead of sitting at home doing nothing, I thought let me pursue my passion, which is photography. Then I started doing some landscapes and all. And then I began exploring the people photography. I started doing some small events. And then I thought that weddings is a good option because there's so much vibrance and so much the true emotions you can see in a wedding. So I was lucky to get 4 American weddings when I was in Seattle. So I did that wedding. Even Niranjan used to assist me, and then it gave me a little confidence. So we had to move back to India in 2016. So
Mhm.
I decided then that I'll continue doing wedding photography. So once we moved, again I think I have to say that I was lucky that as soon as we moved, I got some bookings. Uh, it was very scary in the beginning. I thought that let me see how it goes and then I'll decide whether I want to continue this as a career path. But luckily,
Okay.
people also responded very well. They really liked our work and everything. So after a year, so I did from 2016 end to 2017 end all alone, and that is when Niranjan also became interested. So
Yeah.
he'll continue the story from then.
Yeah. In the beginning, we wanted to take our time. I didn't want to quit immediately as such. So we wanted to settle down and then see how it goes first. So that's why we took a bit of time. And then by the time she was also very comfortable, she got the confidence and she did a few weddings. She even traveled outside Pune and all. So she got that confidence, and then we felt it's going in a good way. So we thought we can take that step of me also quitting and then joining her. Firstly, I was also getting interested in photography, and I was also getting bored with the IT job, monotonous job it was. So those are the two main factors, and also it will help her. She was doing it all alone, going outside Pune or shooting within Pune. Everything was like she was the only person doing that, so it was a bit difficult as well. So I thought all these things will actually become easier if I join her as well, and then I can also take it up full time. So that's when we thought in that direction, and then I eventually quit in 2018 and then joined her full time. So it's been
All right.
luckily so good so far. Yeah.
But it's surprising, like both husband and wife sharing the same vibe when it comes to,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
good. It is
Yeah.
a very complimenting thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So
Yeah.
how, so how this complimenting thing has helped you while doing weddings, like, husband, wife together, shooting a groom and a bride. So how this helps, or are there any drawbacks, or only merits are there?
I think so. One thing that sets us apart from a lot of other teams is couples relate to us because we are
Uh,
also a couple.
Slightly louder, both of you. A bit
Yeah.
louder.
Well, I'll just bring it closer.
Yeah.
Is this better now?
Yeah.
So I think one thing that works for us is we are also a couple and we are meeting couples. So as a couple, we tend to match their frequency because we get
Mhm.
what they are going through. And a lot of couples that we have short weddings for, they also have been in distant relationships and all that. So that is a connection point for us with a lot of couples. And also, apart from that, brides feel more comfortable that there is a woman photographer who's taking her photos. So as a wedding photographer, you can't be really distant. You have to get intimate with the couple, and you bride is made comfortable. Grooms they'll get along, but brides they are the center of the whole show, right? And they need to be the most comfortable. So they feel comfortable that there is a female who's taking the photos, especially in the makeup room, and even during the wedding, if there is anything like if her pallu is off or if there's anything, I can go and change it. I mean, I can just go and correct it myself, and I don't. She'll not feel awkward that why is a photographer coming and fixing my makeup or fixing my sari and all that. So that is one thing that works for us. And usually it's the brides who communicate a lot, right? So I think they also feel comfortable that to talk to a woman. And
Mhm.
yeah, so I think it works. I don't think there is any drawbacks.
And in addition, for us, to answer your question, for us, the communication is also easier between us when it comes to splitting the work, like me taking care of
Right.
groom's, her taking care of bride side, and during different functions also, it's pretty easier for us to communicate and make sure that we are taking care of different aspects during the shoot.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about whether we are making each other clear or not, whether we are understanding the role of each other during the shoot. So that is very much easy for us knowing each other for a long time. So that way it helps us a lot. Yeah.
That's good. So
Yeah, and
only wedding photography, or like what all like you do? You were
so in
saying something. You can complete that.
yeah,
Rachna,
yeah.
you were
So I
saying
was saying that in general, we see that people, when they come to know that we are a husband and wife team doing the shoot, in general, I see that the respect is a little more. So they don't treat us just
something.
like, oh, you're just a photographer team. They see like, okay, it's a family that's come to shoot, and they welcome us into their family as their own friends. And I feel that I've seen that difference when it's us and there's some other team. I've seen the difference myself, so that's why I feel that it works.
Yeah, that should be true. So any
Yeah.
challenges like husband wife together for 24 hours? So do you fight
No, we
with the
actually
on shoots or on the
no
workplace?
because our 6 years went in distant relationship, right? So we have really craved to be together for 6 years. So I think we are completely enjoying this touch wood.
But that's great. Touch wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my next question is: it's only wedding photography you do, or what all things you do?
Well, wedding is our primary work, primary line of work. So for most of the season, wedding season, we do the wedding shoots itself. Then during off season, we have other shoots like mainly maternity shoots. Then we do couple portraits, pre-wedding, what do you call as pre-wedding shoots. Then some here and there we do some birthday shoots, family portraits. So those are all filled up during the off season, but primarily the weddings during the season. Yeah, that's our
So
kind of.
guys, you everybody must follow them as Rachna Niranjan underscore photography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Insta handle.
Yeah, that's the one.
So if you can type it in the chat box, people will start following your work. Guys, please watch their work, and it's amazing. I love your black and white photography as well. A few pictures what I recently saw on your profile, on your Insta
Yeah,
handle.
we
Yeah,
we really love black and white a lot.
yeah. So my next question coming to our profession, wherein we got connected in a wedding at Ambrosia at
Yeah.
Prajakta Building. So what are the challenges as a photographer you face from a makeup artist? Because makeup artists have a lot of challenges when it comes to few photographers. Nowadays it's not an issue because the photography is all right and it's everything is HD. I have witnessed an era where there was a floodlight on the bride's face and we
Mhm.
used to tell the photographer ke flash mat marna, you know the makeup is matte. I have witnessed that for last, like, I'm in the industry for 24 years, so I've witnessed that also. So now, right now, as photographers who handle HD camera with all the latest equipments with proper lighting and all, what are the challenges as a photographer you face when there is a wrong makeup, or the makeup is not up to the mark? So can you please guide us on that?
Sure, sure. So there are quite a couple of things that I would like
We
to
can go
highlight.
one by one. We can
Yeah,
go
yeah,
one by one, all the
sure,
problems.
sure.
Yeah.
So one of the main things I think that which we feel should be addressed in the makeup part itself is that sometimes the makeup artists they apply a lot of shimmer. So we as
Shimmer.
photographers we have to use the flashes, right? Because not every place is well lit. So we have to use the flashes, and even if it's not direct on the face, and even if it's bounced from somewhere, if there is a lot of glow on the face in the makeup, the flashes, the photo just reflects a lot of glow on the face. So it gives a very sweaty and oily look of the bride. So that is something that then we need to correct it in the post processing. So it is like adding to the editing work, and we have to fix it in each and every picture.
Sometimes it may not be easy to fix also
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
So we have had instances where some brides, I mean, shimmer is something that you need to apply only to a certain points, like maybe on the eye or something. Maybe the makeup artists would know better, but there are some makeup artists, maybe they put a lot of glossy makeup or they put it all over the face. And
Yeah.
it also makes the face look separate than the rest of the body. And also the light gets reflected off from that. So it just makes the bride look that she's sweating a lot. She might not be sweating, and we have to constantly go and tell her that can you just wipe off a little bit from with tissue paper, or ask somebody to go and fix her makeup while the rituals are going on. So that's something that can be addressed in the makeup part.
So,
And
as a photographer, before when you consult them, that time do you address the bride as don't do too much glossy makeup or something like that?
yeah, we tell them try to keep it like a matte effect, something that
Okay.
doesn't shine, or because India is not a very cool place. It's hot. Even in winters, it's hot. So there is a
Yeah.
little bit of sweat definitely. And if on top of that, if she puts a glossy makeup,
Mm-hmm.
then it tends to get more sweaty faced, and it looks very
Right.
visible in photos. Not just in our photos. I've seen even in cell phone photos that because of the extra lights added at night and all, it gives a lot of shine.
And also our mostly Indian rituals, they go for a longer duration, right? Each
Right.
function will be of a longer duration. So even though it might be fine during the beginning, as the time progresses, maybe that will start showing off. So by the time
Mm.
the function is midway or the function is getting over, so it might start showing off on the face. So that's where it becomes a little difficult.
So, shimmer is the biggest issue what makeup artists should know well for whom to apply, where to apply, and in what quantities.
Yeah.
So, guys, there is no for shimmer, but you just need to know the right points and the right skin, because not every skin is made for shimmer. Okay, so we have ticked on one point. So, what is the next challenge?
So another thing I feel that make eye makeup is something that the makeup artist should know
Very
how to
important.
put depending on the face structure of the bride. So there have been a couple of weddings where I've seen that they put really thick and long eyelashes, which I personally didn't like it. The bride maybe liked it, but I just felt that it was not suiting her. So, and
Mm,
also the blending on the eyes is very important. So because we take a lot of close-up photos, right? And our photos, they highlight everything. And these days, the digital photos, they can even show you the pixel on your face. So when you get close, especially during the makeup shots, we take a lot of close-up shots, and in that you can really see what is not good. So if they are not blending the eyeshadows properly or applying the eyelashes, which is not suiting the bride, then even that tends to show. I've also seen a lot of glitter being applied even on the eyelashes, and it does not look good.
It falls. No, nobody
Yeah.
applies it. But
And by the end of the day,
yeah.
the bride has glitter all around her eyes. So
Oh,
that does not look good.
okay. So in Photoshop, you have to remove that?
Yeah, if it's a close-up photo,
Mhm.
then I have to definitely fix it.
Right, right, right.
Sometimes I feel like I'll not fix it, I'll just give it, but then the bride is not going to like it, so I have to fix it.
All right. So guys, lashes should suit the bride and not too much of glitter on the eyes, which will fall down on, at the end of the day. So this was the second thing. Third thing, I think, what she said, and blending of eyeshadows is very, very important. And you witnessed any patch on the shadow or what?
Yeah,
Did
so
you?
they will, I mean, usually it's been okay. Sometimes the colors that they choose is like there are, so there was one wedding that we did outside Maharashtra. It was a small place. So maybe that's the reason the makeup, I mean, the makeup also depends on
Yeah.
the size of the wedding, right? So it was very extravagant, dark pink on the eyes, and it was not going along with any of the rest of the makeup. That was one thing, and there was another eye makeup that I remember where it was like two different lines. There was pink and there was black on the eyelids. It was not blended at all. So I was really shocked that, and I couldn't even say it to the makeup artist. I mean, I didn't want her to feel that I'm interfering in her work, right? Because everybody around was saying that, yeah, it's looking perfect. So these are times when I can't even say anything, but then it's very obvious that it's not working. So
And another
So the
thing,
entire actually essence of makeup is blending.
yeah,
The makeup has to be well blended and it should not show lines. All
right.
right. So I think this is a very strong message to all the makeup artists who are watching this session, that your blending has to be really perfect, because even though it cannot be seen with naked eyes, the camera is going to catch it. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Niranjan was saying something.
yeah, what I was saying was on the day of the wedding, right? When you do the makeup and all that. So bride will, it's her special day and she will be involved in a lot of different emotions and all that. So she herself may not notice it, right? Certain things. Because it's a special day for her, so she will be in that mood and she will be all happy and all that. So she may not notice certain things in the makeup part or outfit or whatever. So certain things we might notice as outsiders, as photographers, we might notice as compared to
Right.
the bride or the family or friends noticing it. So that's where it becomes a little trickier for us to communicate to the makeup
Right.
artist or the bride ki ऐसा थोड़ा सा उधर इधर हो रहा है या फिर it may not be looking good and all that. So that's where yeah, we need to think, and then we sometimes convey or sometimes we show the photo and then tell that this is what it is and all that.
Yeah. So generally, what I practice, when the photographer is saying I want to come inside and click pictures, after the makeup is done, I show the bride the pictures clicked from my camera also. Like I have a very good cell phone camera, and I tell the photographer to see the makeup, click it and show it to the bride, and I make sure that photographs and the bride is seen by 4 or 5 family members. You know, so later nobody should complain that makeup was very bright or makeup was very light or it was
yeah,
dark. So I tell the photographer, please check. So I wait for 5-10 minutes till they click. So I think you can also practice that. Tell the bride before, because not all makeup artists are open to it. Few are like, how come you can tell us,
yeah,
that way. So there's a little approach problem. But you can tell the bride that unless my photographer says, okay, yeah,
hmm.
tone down or tone up or blend, the makeup artist is not going to go. Okay,
Okay,
so you can communicate that to bride. Like the
beforehand.
bride can tell the makeup artist, let me just see how my makeup looks in pictures and then you leave. So
Yeah,
you can try this because this works.
yeah,
Because after all, it's a teamwork. It's the model that the bride, photography and makeup which works together.
Yeah.
This is how I do. And you were saying something, Rachna.
So you mean to say that we need to discuss this with the bride right
Yes, you
before the
should.
wedding itself, right? That let's
Yeah.
go about it this way.
So these are few problems what we had faced earlier, and it would be nice if we click few pictures and then see
Hmm.
Hmm.
that way. So
Okay.
this might work. This can work.
Yeah.
So shimmers, eye makeup, lashes, blending. What else?
Another point is hairstyle. The hairstyle definitely was a problem in some of our weddings, not all, because most of the times the hair has lasted for the entire day. But one or two times there has been issues where, especially during the Varmala, you know how crazy it gets during the Varmala. People
Yeah,
lift
yeah,
them up and the mala goes anywhere, and the hair needs to withstand all that, right? So one or two
absolutely.
times the hair completely comes off, like if it's been tied as a bun or anything. So during that process, the bun completely comes off and the hair is falling. Because it's the end of the wedding, maybe the bride might not bother. But for us, it's a problem because most of our portrait sessions happen at the end of the wedding because we don't get time before that. So during the portrait session, then the makeup artist is not there to fix the hair. So then it becomes a challenge for us to try and not show the hair.
Mm.
So that is one thing. Like, we have to pose them accordingly so that the things that have come apart are not seen in the photos. So
So
hair
something
is
to add on to this, the hairstyle should last. While discussing, we do hairstyle trial. A lot of makeup artists do it. We don't do a free trial for makeup as a makeup artist, but we do a hairstyle trial because we want to know the bride's choices. So when I am telling my bride, I make it a point, I tell her that you will be clicked from all the angles. So whichever angle you look, right side or left side, up, down, the hairstyle should look perfect from all angles because it is not just about hairstyle staying for long. There's lot of things involved in hairstyling which has a complete balance of the body. The structure, the positioning, it cannot be just up or it cannot be out of the frame.
yeah.
So as a hairstylist, as a makeup artist, it's not like I know hairstyle, that's why I'm doing a bridal hairstyle. It's not like that. It has to suit the structure, and the makeup artist or the hairstylist has to check the bride from a distance, whether everything is going all right.
Hmm.
So I think staying is the biggest,
Yeah.
like something which is funny. I laughed at it because I heard it for first time that after putting Varmala, something came down. This could be a biggest blunder.
Yeah.
It is very bad. Yeah. But I feel as a hairstylist, whoever are watching, there is lot of balance. There is lot of understanding of the body structure of the client. Whether the hairstyle is too much out of the frame, whether it's shown from one side, it's seen from one side is totally in. So what exactly it is, the hairstylist should be aware, and it has to stay as it is. It cannot just go out of
Another
the frame.
thing with the hairstyle is one more thing that people put buns, right? I mean, they just lift this part
Yeah,
of the hair up, and it's very important that the symmetry is maintained. A lot of times we have seen
absolutely,
that it's not symmetrical. And
absolutely.
again, that's one thing that we are not able to communicate. I have done this, I've done the taking the photo and showing it to the bride, but she doesn't see that it's not symmetrical. So if she's not seeing the flaw, then how can I was unable to tell her that it's not symmetrical. So I just let
Absolutely.
it be. I mean, there was not much I could do because obviously the makeup artist should not get offended. That's our she's also there doing her job just like we are doing it, right?
Yeah.
So symmetry is one thing that I've always
But
a
that
lot
is
of
very
times.
common. Asymmetry is a very common thing. The puff goes up, down
Yeah,
like a speed breaker, or it's in from one side. And
yeah,
there's lot of partitions, like, this is this is one part, third
yeah.
part is behind. So as I said, hairstyle has to have a rhythm. It cannot be एक यहाँ पे कुछ कर दिया फिर एक यहाँ पे कर दिया and पीछे कुछ लगा दिया. So it's a
Hmm.
lot of understanding, I think. It's not just, but you are right because it will ruin the photographs.
Yeah, because it looks very obvious because
And
that part of the buns just stands out, right? And then
you
you see
cannot
that it's
select
not
this in
symmetrical.
Photoshop. You can't
Yeah.
correct this in Photoshop.
I mean, we can fix it, but then it'll take too much of work. Only if it's very, very obvious in some photos, I will fix it, but otherwise we don't fix it.
Okay. So somebody is asking a question, what bridal photography, which camera and lens is used? So can you answer that?
We
For
use
bridal photography.
we
Yeah.
use Nikon cameras, and my go-to lens for bridal portraits is bridal makeup. During the makeup, it's a lot of congested space, right? So I prefer the 50 mm 1.8.
Okay.
That gives a lot of blurry effect, and it highlights exactly what needs to be highlighted. Like if I'm focusing on the eye, it's the eye, only
Okay.
the eye that comes sharp, and everything else is blurred out, and it gives really soft, dreamy look. Uh, so 50 mm is what I usually use.
All right. So coming to the technical part, what kind of lighting is good for photography and makeup? Because it has to go hand in hand. So Niranjan can answer this.
Yeah, so typically, I mean, we have seen some makeup artists using the ring lights, LED ring lights, right? That becomes handy for them during the makeup, and it gives them a better understanding of how it is looking in the light as well. So that
Yeah.
is from the makeup artist perspective, and from our perspective, we do use our own flashes and we do have our light setup and all that. So we have some diffusing light and all which we use because it shouldn't be too
Mhm.
harsh and all that, right? So depending on the situation, the lighting in the room, and how congested the room is or how the lighting is in the room, so that decides what kind of light we use, whether we just use a simple flash on the camera or we have to use the external light with diffuser and
Okay.
all. So all these things matter in deciding these lighting related stuff. So we take a call based, we have a look, right? When we go to the room, makeup room, we get an idea how it is and
Mm.
how the lighting is. So then we take a call on whether to use a smaller flash or we have to bring in the additional light in the room and then use that. So it all depends on these factors.
So
Best
what is the
best
best light according to you? Best light for makeup or photography?
Best light is the natural light that comes in through the
Mm.
window. Even
Yeah.
for makeup artists, it's the best. Even for the photographer, it's the best because if the bride is sitting right next to the window, irrespective of whether the room is well lit or not, if she's
Right.
sitting next to the window, even the makeup artist is able to say whether the makeup is more or not. And even for photos, it's a beautiful light to capture the bride right next to the window. And I think even if there's a room light, like suppose it's night and there's no natural light coming, and if it's a lot of posh hotels have very dim lights, and
Very
if
much.
the makeup artist does not have her own light, and if she's using only those dim lights for applying makeup, then she might not get a good picture of
Mm.
how the makeup actually looking. So
Right.
it might look okay because it's dark, she might over apply the makeup, and then eventually when we go and take photos and put flash and take photos, and that is when we realize that, oh, there's a lot of makeup.
Mm.
So I think that is one thing that makeup artists also can do to check how it is, that they can take two different photos, whether even if it's from their own cell phone,
Yeah.
they can take one photo without flash in a well lit space and one photo with flash. So she might get an idea of uh, of how the makeup is in both the light conditions.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Very true. So even while we teach makeup, we ask the student to check the makeup in daylight. We do the half face base and we check it in the daylight, not sunlight, but normal daylight, because that actually speaks right. Whether the foundation is too dark or too light. So I do it when I'm doing the bride also. I always show the bride half face, face done, and I ask her to check it in the daylight whether she's comfortable with that much foundation or she wants it more or she wants it really less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kalyan, there's a bit of a lag from your side, I think.
My
Uh,
side,
yeah, it's not clear. The video is not clear and voice is a little
Well,
delayed, I think.
it's still buffering.
Yeah, it looks to be.
Okay, let me switch the connection.
Okay.
I think now it's a little better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it
now it's
audible?
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I switched the connection because it is raining maybe outside. That's why the connection is
Okay.
all right. So, thick lashes, blending of eyeshadows, and then the reflectors, and we spoke about the shimmers, hairstyle, and anything about you must be there throughout the wedding till the pida is there, you know, and there are a lot of challenges when the bride starts crying. The make
Yes.
sometimes if the makeup artist has not used waterproof makeup, then the liner comes down and it
Yeah.
becomes black. And even though if she is crying, you cannot portray the bride as something black is on her face. So, so do you have you faced such challenges or have you seen
Uh,
this?
Not extensively, maybe once or twice. It doesn't really flow down, but yeah, we can see that the kajal is a little smudged around the eyes. So yeah, that is definitely one thing that the makeup artist can take care of that by using waterproof eye eye makeup stuff.
All
So
right.
And also,
Or
some
yeah, yes,
yeah,
you can say.
some yeah. In many of the weddings, bidai will be the last function, right?
Yeah,
So in some weddings, there will be some additional function like entering the home, bride entering groom's home, and all that. So in those
right.
cases also it might affect, right? During bidai, it's going to be an emotional moment. Bride
Yeah,
and family might be crying. So after that, if there is another function like entering groom's home and all that, even there it might show up.
continue.
Yeah, it might continue.
yes.
Yeah.
So what I tell my bride is to cleanse the makeup after the lunch, or maybe she can just wipe off the eye makeup, put some powder and a little shadow. No liner, no kajal, because she has to travel. She has to go to mandir or the groom's place. So you can suggest this to your bride. Like she can
Hmm.
remove the lash and all. Because I have seen some bidai uh, pictures of some client complaining about other makeup artists wherein the lash came out when the bride cried and there was one lash on the eye and other lash was not there. So,
Oh.
so she says after watching the bidai pictures and video, we start laughing. We don't cry
Oh.
anymore. That was a good thing, but it was very funny.
Yeah.
So I think you can suggest if you find the makeup is really challenging for you to handle, you can tell the bride that just remove the eye makeup before, no, after your lunch is done, and
Hmm.
then put some powder and just come. Otherwise, she can keep the foundation and the lipstick on. So this has
Yeah.
worked for us with few people, and few people listen to it. So
Okay.
and during makeup, like when we are uh, doing the makeup, lot of times the challenge is the photographer is pushing us,
Hmm.
please jaldi karo, and the bride has already come late in our hand. Like for example, this happens when there is a morning wedding and the reception.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
now it's back.
Yeah. So when there's a
Yeah.
morning wedding and there is a reception in the evening, it's always everything goes late and the bride reaches. If the makeup ka time is 4 o'clock, the bride will reach for makeup at 5:30, and 6:37 is the reception or murat. So it's always a
Hmm.
tug of war between the photographers. They keep knocking and they keep saying, send the bride, then the pandit. And we are like, we are not going to listen to photographers. We'll just listen to pandit because
Yeah.
that's the final call. And have you faced this and how do you handle
It's our every wedding life, I would say.
Yeah, we
it?
don't get the time to click her complete portraits right after makeup. At least one thing is because, like I said, because I'm a woman, they are okay to let me inside while the makeup is going on. So at least I get all those shots. And while the makeup artist always takes their photo, right? When everything is done. So that is when I catch in some 2 or 3 photos inside the room itself. At least there's something right
Right.
immediately after the makeup. But we always have this time challenge because we always say that right after makeup is when you're fresh, you're energetic, and you will be willing to do all the poses. But most of the times we end up doing the poses at the end of the day when they're completely tired. So we tell them that please tell the makeup artist to come early or just take 1 hour in between as a buffer so that everybody is happy.
So I will
Yeah, the
tell you
thing
what we do. Yeah, Niranjan can complete and then I can
is,
contribute to your problem.
sure. This is
Yeah.
purely based on the experience we have had with different weddings we have done, right? So when we meet the couple and we discuss all the different aspects, we also discuss about this makeup and then the portraits and all that, right? So
Yeah.
many of them usually don't have the idea how much time does the makeup take.
Mm.
They have an idea in mind, maybe हाँ एक 1.5 घंटे में makeup हो जाएगा, we will be ready for the photos and then we'll go for the
Yeah.
function. So we clarify to them that don't assume it will get over in 1 hour, 1.5 hour. It does take time, makeup itself.
Yeah.
So we do kind of communicate to them कि आप थोड़ा पहले से शुरू कर लो, makeup artist को पहले बुला लो. So you have enough time for the makeup as well as you have some time before the function. But usually
Absolutely.
most of the time it doesn't happen on the wedding day. वो थोड़ा extend हो जाता है and then they have to run for the function. So they end up posing in the end only. So that always happens. So we have to adjust with that and we have to do the shoots in the end. But one thing, as you mentioned, I think maybe in the beginning itself, we have to keep some buffer as such for that.
This is how we do when it's a morning wedding. If there are no functions prior, like in Maharashtrian weddings, I go for makeup at 5 o'clock, 5:36, sometimes 4 o'clock also. But even if it's an early morning wedding, whenever I'm drafting my consultation sheet with the client, I give everything in writing or an email or whatever communication, mode of communication. And I tell her it's going to take 2 hours, complete
Hmm.
2 hours. Okay. So if we start at 6, by 8, you will be ready and your function should be at 9. So I only tell the bride, let's start 3 hours before. So 2 hours I will require and 1 hour for your breakfast. you know and as I said, I told Rachna that everybody who does makeup needs a mental steeping in time. you know
Yeah.
you just do not do makeup like a celebrity and go and hit the stage. You
Yeah.
need a lot of steeping in time. So when the bride gets clicked and when she sees a picture that she is confident, wow, I'm looking good. And that looking good factors gives a lot of confidence to the bride.
Right.
So I make sure when I'm consulting the client, I say, no, if the Pandit has said 9 o'clock, I'll make you ready at 8 because we have to give time to photographers.
Yeah.
Because end of the day, end of the entire drill of this wedding and photography, it's only the pictures what the bride is going to see or the family, right? They forget
Yeah.
everything otherwise. So
Yeah.
only pictures and video is the only thing which they will cherish for lifetime.
Hmm.
And I think my job will also be seen well when it is clicked fresh and when it's
Right.
right. So I
Right.
make it a point to, make my job easy when I want my bride to be happy with the makeup and with the pictures. So
Hmm.
I tell her that we'll give you 1 hour buffer, and she's also happy because 45 minutes to 1 hour when she's roaming around in the crowd, clicking a pictures, she becomes confident to pose. So
Hmm.
later also when
Yeah.
you're clicking, so this is how I follow, and it has worked really well. So all my clients are like, "तू जल्दी उठा देती है, लेकिन we have our own pictures with us." So
Yeah.
that has worked for me a lot. You can
Yeah,
suggest this to your
definitely. Because
client.
I remember that the wedding that we did together,
Yeah,
I didn't have that issue of, oh, there's no time to click our photos or anything. Because I think we had three sessions, right? The reception,
yeah,
wedding, and the Sangeet night.
Sangeet.
I think we got enough time to click their portraits even before everything started.
Right,
So that even makes us also calm. Okay, the portraits are done. So now we
yeah,
can relax because the
right.
portraits are the main thing anyway. So
Yes. And majority times the light is right. Even if it's a reception, if the bride is done at 6 o'clock, the light is right.
yeah.
In
Yeah.
morning, evening, whatever. So I think
Mm.
you should, as photographers, also tell this too, because lot of makeup artists come from a different school of thought and different training school. So not every teacher will take an effort to train her students, to tell about how to manage the time.
Yeah.
So that is the one thing which get back the client to us, because we communicate so many things to her, how to cleanse her haldi. Because if
Hmm.
even the haldi is remaining, it clicks, it comes in the
Yeah.
pictures,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
spoils the makeup. So we take a lot of effort to communicate, even if the client says, oh my God, there are so many instructions or there are, so many things to be taken care. But that helps us to get the final result well. And
True.
nobody taught this to me, but after a lot of experiences, that haldi reh gaya, balon mein reh gaya, face pe reh gaya, and then the photography goes on toss or the makeup material goes on toss, and everything is, it's not up to the mark. So that's why I think as photographers and makeup artists, we will have to take care of
Yeah, sure.
educating the planet.
Right.
Yes, and so can we know what is your style of working? Like what kind of? Let me check the timing so that yeah, in 5 minutes we will close this session, 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll
Okay.
come back in case there are any questions. So what is
Sure.
your style of working? Like lot of photographers have, only candid, matlab total candid. They will not click a single group picture or
Hmm.
they will not showcase. So what is your kind of?
Our primary style is documentary style. When you say documentary, like there are different terms which you use, right? Candid bolte hain, ya natural. So what we mean by
Mhm.
that is we will capture everything as it is happening during rituals. जैसे जो
Okay.
भी फंक्शन हो, whether it is हल्दी, संगीत, wedding or whatever, we capture it in documentary, natural style without interfering as much as possible. We don't
All
like
right.
to stop and pose and all that. So it
Mhm.
is the special moment for them, right? For bride, groom, and their families. So we want them to enjoy those moments, but we capture it from our own perspective, our own way, not missing
Right.
any important moment. But at the same time, we don't have any clause or condition that we don't click group pictures. We do. Jैसे,
Mhm.
after the wedding, you will have the reception, right? Wherein the guest
Yeah.
will come and meet the couple, and that's when the group shots come into picture. So we do click that as part of our package. That is
Mhm.
included if there is a function like that. And definitely couple portraits and family ka shots we anyway have to take. But as
Right.
far as the functions, the rituals, all these things are concerned, our style is documentary candid style.
All right.
So that actually that makes us interfere as less as possible during ritual, and also that's when the photos come out very well. If you make
Mhm.
them pose and then look at the camera and take it,
Mhm.
it doesn't give the beauty to the shots. What they will enjoy more
Absolutely.
later when they see the photos is how naturally it's looking, how beautifully the moment is captured. That's what makes it more beautiful. That's why we stick to that.
And
That's
that is
good.
one
Yeah.
thing that most of our clients have also told, that that is one thing that everybody highlights, that their photography is the most natural. That is what they like about our work. Like when they see our portfolio also, that is what jumps out in our portfolio, that everything we capture is as candid as possible, as natural as possible. So
I
even we
love the
don't.
small videos what you create for the wedding. Like I saw the Prajakta's wedding. It was
Yeah,
good run through from the Sangeet to wedding to
yeah.
reception. And I loved it. Like I love the editing of music wherein it starts with a very Maharashtrian style and then it
Hmm.
merges into something. So I love that entire video. It's there
Thank
in
you.
on my Insta handle, and you guys, whoever are watching, just go and check their work and follow them. So, guys, we
Thank
are
you.
done with the questions. What I wanted to ask you, I think it was very quick. So,
Yeah.
any message you want to give to the viewers? If there are a lot of makeup artists and hairstylists who are watching you, so we can end with that message.
Sure. So one message I would like to say is be true to your style, and always try to figure out what's the best part of the bride and highlight that, and also see what's the flaws of the bride and try to hide it. And so what, like I'll take my own example. When I was getting married, since I have a darker complexion, I was very concerned that I should not be made to look white, because I've seen
Fine.
that in a lot of brides, that
Yeah.
they look very white in the flashes, but my makeup artist did a very great job in keeping my skin tone natural, and she just made an even skin tone the whole face. And she hid some things like I have a broader nose, so she made it look
Contouring, yeah.
narrow. So these are the things that I really loved, and that is what I think that every makeup artist should focus on, not stick to just one style, because every bride is different. uh, so highlight her beauties and hide the flaws. And flaws, obviously, everybody has. It's not something to say that, oh, she has flaws, but just hide those flaws like pimples or maybe acne marks and everything.
So it's
These are
basically
the things.
know your work well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
And it's
it
not like whether you have a broad nose or somebody has a long nose. whenever we do a base, the face becomes like a canvas. So to highlight it and to give the proper shading, everybody needs to be contoured. It's not just you or me, but even if it's Madhuri Dixit or even if it's Aishwarya Rai, face contouring is a must because after the base, the face is like a canvas.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And
Yes,
then when
Niranjan.
the bride looks beautiful, obviously it's a pleasure for the photographers because the more
Yes,
beautiful they look, the more we'll feel like taking
yes,
photos in every angle. And that actually is a benefit for the makeup artist because we share all our photos, all the best bridal photos with our makeup artists so that they can also put it on their portfolio. So they have some really good photos to showcase on their work.
it's a win-win for both actually.
Yeah.
True.
Right.
Yeah, if you think from that perspective, right? If you think about the job of a makeup artist and a photographer, they go hand in hand, right? Because
Yeah,
as a makeup artist, your job is to make sure that the bride and in some cases even the grooms might go for the makeup, right? So both of them look their best on the day because that is the main thing. They are the center of attraction, so they have
correct.
to look their best and feel their best. That is, as a makeup artist, you make sure that happens, and as photographers, we make sure to capture that whatever happens on their wedding day, whether it is portraits, makeup, outfits, jewelry, or whatever, so that they are able to relive and cherish those memories later. So, from that angle, I think both of our jobs go hand in hand, and it's very important to have
Absolutely.
both of them right.
Yeah, very true. So thank you very much for joining in. And we had a
Thanks a lot.
wonderful session with you interacting.
Same
So
here.
everybody is looking forward for a wedding season and good makeup and good pictures for everybody. Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. We
thank
are
you
also
very
waiting for the wedding season.
yeah, everybody is waiting.
Yeah,
Post lockdown, I think we'll see those good weddings now.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a
So
hard time,
thank
so
you for sharing your experiences and thank you for giving us so many tips from the photographers. And you were saying something, Niranjan?
no, I was just saying that this is a hard time for everyone, so hopefully
Yes.
everything will get back to soon normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
let's,
So
and
viewers
thank
are
you.
saying
Joining
thank you
us.
for the information and thank you for the conversation. Enjoyed listening. Thank you, Catrix and Ritika, hairstylist. Okay, one question. Which camera mode is good to take bridal pictures? She has already said. I think she's given the answer. You can watch the video again. All right. So
Yeah,
thank you all viewers. And if you have still have any question, we have a minute to go before this video gets over. And if you have to say something, you were saying something, Rachna.
yeah. No.
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
Yeah.
But only thing is, just from the groom's perspective, right?
Yeah,
Compared
yeah,
to
please.
few years earlier, I think now even grooms try and
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
little bit of minimal makeup because it's important for them to look their best as well, right? Along with the bride. So some minimal level of makeup is always preferred for grooms as well. So
All right.
it may not be definitely as much as a bride, but
Yeah.
so, as Rachna mentioned, maybe just to hide some features or highlight
Hmm.
some features in the facial features and all. So those might be beneficial to the groom as well.
Right.
Some
It
mostly
should
like
not be too bright also and not too cakey also. It should be just
yeah,
natural.
Yeah.
correct,
And
correct.
to groom's makeup, it should be always waterproof. Otherwise, generally men sweat a lot
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
starts creating lines of that foundation on their dress, on the collar.
Hmm.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
That's very bad. It comes in the picture and later it's a biggest problem.
Yeah,
So I
Right.
think
correct.
that should be right. Groom makeup is a must.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good time.
Thank you so much,
Take care.
Thank
Kalyani.
you for coming,
You too.
Yes.
inviting us. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Good time.
Our pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
So I think it was a very nice, informative session. Very cute couple. Very naive, nice, polite, and honest. And I love their work. So I said, let me take them into this life. So go and follow them, Rachna Niranjan underscore photography. And I'm going to save this video. Do watch, do share with your friends. Thank you so much. Take care.